are watching the Somm Vivant YouTube channel. Hello wine friends, welcome back to another episode of your weekly wine picks. If you are new to the channel, this is a series where I pick 2 wines from wine.com every week that I think are really interesting that you guys would love to enjoy. I try to keep it interesting with lots of different wines from all over the world, known, trusted producers, interesting varietals, things that I really enjoy that I think you guys will really enjoy, and most importantly, that are available to purchase. Links are always below. If this is your first time, I do recommend going back and watching some of my previous episodes so you get a better idea of what it is that I'm doing, and of course, why I'm using wine.com. Guys, I'm gonna level with you right now. It is hot as fuck outside. And when it gets this hot, I crave crispy, minerally whites. And that usually means Riesling. So this is sort of a selfish pick this week because this is really what I wanted to drink. But also, these are actually 2 really great producers. One from the motherland of Riesling, so Germany, and then the other from Alsace, which also makes beautiful, beautiful Rieslings. Riesling's just one of those wines that all Somms love. We just love to geek out on Riesling. The allergies this season have been like off the charts, so I am a little bit congested. I'm sorry if my voice sounds weird. Okay, Riesling time, let's go. Riesling. Where do I start? The love for Riesling in the sommelier community runs very, very deep. You'd be hard pressed to find a somm that doesn't love Riesling. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, we drink so much wine that sometimes we just want something like really crispy and white and aromatic and not so heavy. After I've been drinking like reds all day, I typically gravitate towards like champagne, Riesling, Pinot Verde, things that are like bright, citrusy, and maybe have a little effervescence. This is DONNHOFF Riesling from the great land of Riesling in Germany. This is from the DONNHOFF region. Interestingly, this is only 10% alcohol, so it's pretty low. This wine is on the sweeter side of things. There is a touch of residual sugar. I wouldn't call it a sweet wine. It's definitely not sticky, it's not cloying, it's not viscous. There is just a tiny, 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 tiny hint of sweetness. If you like really dry, like high acid, tastes like the rind of a lemon, let's just leave this one alone. So the classic nose of a Riesling is petrol and stone fruit. And that is exactly what's on the nose here. It's petrol, a little bit of lychee, it's a little bit on the honeyed side since there is like a touch of sweetness to this. On the palate, it's really crisp. There's a lot of minerality, there's a little bit of effervescence, but there is like a slight weediness to it. So if you are someone that loves sweeter wines, if you like the Moscatos of the world, if you're trying to maybe direct your palate more towards dry wines, this is a really nice step in the right direction. I would say it's like halfway in between a really dry Riesling and a sweeter Riesling. It has the ripeness of the fruit and like a touch of residual sugar, but it's not super, super cloying and it's not super, super dry. So kind of a nice gentle balance between the two. And of course, DONNHOFF being one of the great producers of Riesling in Germany, imported by Thierry Thies. We've talked about that before. Thierry Thies is one of the great, great importers of champagne. You get to watch my other video on champagne where I talk about that. This is also a Thierry Thies selection. Great family-owned property, and only about 20 bucks. So really quality wine, great producer, touch of sweetness, really great minerality, excellent with chill, excellent with food, perfect for summer. What else do you need? Moving right along. BOXLER. So, what do you need to know? BOXLER, another great producer of Riesling, but not from Germany. This is actually from Alsace. Despite the pressures in France to sort of modernize and mechanize everything, this is a family-owned and operated property that refuses to do any of that. Quality wines over quantity, which I'm always a bigger fan of. So this is the 2014 BOXLER Riesling. This is sort of their entry-level Riesling. This is just the Vin d'Alsace. This wine is completely dry. There is no residual sugar, but it's a lot different on the palate. On the nose, you're still getting a little bit of that petrol and stone fruit that you would normally get from Riesling, but it's a lot more earth-driven and there's a little bit more florality. And then on the palate, a lot more of the earthy tones. The fruit's a lot more subtle than it was in the DONNHOFF. It's viscous, it's round, it does see a little bit of oak. You're not getting any of that vanilla or baking spice, but it's a little bit softer. It's not as mineral driven, it's not as effervescent. It's just a little bit more waxy and weighty. There's many great producers in Alsace. I would consider Albert Boxler one of the greats in that region. Do keep in mind these wines typically sell out very quickly. Boxler is a producer that you see regularly on great wine lists, just like the DONNHOFF, just like some of the wines we talked about last week. So good. This is a Kermit Lynch import. We've definitely talked about that before. Kermit Lynch is one of my great trust agents. Hand-harvested wine, natural fermentation. This is a little bit more money than the DONNHOFF Riesling, but definitely a wine that if you are serving lobster, if you're serving cod, if you're serving a shrimp salad, this Riesling is fantastic. It's just got a little bit more weight and a little bit more body and texture to go with food. The DONNHOFF will be great with food. You just gotta keep it a little bit more on the light side. Think more raw seafood, raw oysters, a little bit more crudité. Just keep it much, much lighter. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. A couple of Rieslings. I hope you're staying cool and hydrated with more than just wine. Make sure you drink water. And this has been really fun, guys. I hope to see you again next week. As always, please let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. I love getting the feedback on what wines you've liked, what wines haven't worked for you. And then I'm always happy to respond if things aren't working out for you. If you ordered a bottle and you're like, it wasn't my thing, let me know. I'm always happy to offer alternative suggestions for you. Although I do hope you like them. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers!